This is a question a user asked about, you could say, grudges or forgiving people for doing something. How can you let go when you've had something that somebody's done to you, or some kind of situation where you just feel so much emotion, or some situation where you feel like you can't really let go?
Well, you fool yourself into thinking it's about what the other person did to you, when actually it's about yourself. How can you not let go? I experience this in my marriage sometimes, maybe it's just guys and girls, different thing. But, sometimes if I act harshly, my wife will put it back to me over and over and over again. But I can, if she does something, I let it go in that moment. That doesn't mean I'm better than her. It's just the way people's consciousness function. Some people find it harder to let go of something, especially if it's a hurt. If you said something or did some action that hurt someone else. Now, the beauty of this is that, when you leave your body, when you die, you experience in that moments after you leave your physical body, you experience all the experiences that everyone had in relation to what you did. So every time you spoke something, a word that cut somebody or hurt somebody, you feel what it felt like to them in that moment. If you did an action that caused pain to somebody else, you feel that pain as if you are that person, not watching it. So everything ends up inside of you anyway and comes back to you anyway. So if you hold on to some affront or some pain or some injustice you feel has been done to you, you're basically reliving that pain and holding into that pain. In other words, you're making it part of your own psyche. So, remember the first sutra of the Aquarian age is act through compassion, and you'll understand the times. So, question is this: when you hold on to something somebody did to you or said to you, or even whether it's real or imagined, you create an interlock with that person's psyche. You bind that person to you. When you break that lock and release it, then if you created the reaction to someone, if you did something bad, then you have an opportunity to go and to make that right. If somebody did it to you, they have an opportunity to come and make it right. It's not your job to hold them to it. And it says their kadam, not your kadam. So you have to deal with your own actions, and you have to deal with your own words. And people who have interacted with you, they have to deal with their actions and their words. If they lied, if they connived, if they hurt, that's their kadam. So how do you let go?
Well, this is what I'm thinking this user asking is maybe the reverse side. So somebody did something to me, and they might not be doing anything, but how do I let go or forgive them so that I can move on and maybe they can move on?
What's the second sutra?
The other person is you.
The other person is you. If the other person is you, who did what to whom? You did something to yourself? Well, if you don't let it go, you are doing something to yourself. Understand that each person does what they do in that moment. And it's done. Once the action is done, it's done. Then you have to deal with the sequence and the consequence of it. So, my answer to that question is very simple. Keep your heart open. Be very alert, but keep your heart open. Because as soon as you get trapped in anger or resentment or hurt, you're the one who's trapped. It has nothing to do with the other person. So don't trap yourself into reacting to someone. Be an actor, not a reactor. Act consciously in the moment with compassion. Don't react to someone else's lack of compassion.